Hey, I'm Andrew Devo, and today we got a woodworking project, and we're gonna make a brand new computer desk for this tiny little baby. So my little 4-year-old has been getting older and bigger, and she has absolutely outgrown her desk. So the first step is to shape our rough lumber down into squares for the legs. I'll be putting these on a tapering jig to add a little dimension. All the lumber for this whole build was actually taken from a poplar tree out of my own yard that I cut down and milled out about 2 years ago. Using some scrap wood, I was able to make this tapering jig, which I think adds a nice level of dimension to the legs. Alright, and just like that, with a simple tapering jig that I screwed together out of scrap wood, I have my 4 perfectly symmetrical tapered legs. These need a little cleanup work and some sanding, but I think we're going to start on the tabletop next. Let's go. Alright, for the tabletop, I've got this piece of poplar that I actually cut down and milled out of my own yard. It's been drying in my garage for like 1.5 years, so I think we're gonna try and use this for our tabletop. Plan is to cut it and then double up the boards with a biscuit joiner and then attach the legs. Let's give it a go. So like I said, the first step is to cut this board in half. And then we will book match the pieces together. We're also going to go ahead and clean up the rough ends. I'm running these boards through the thickness planer for a couple passes. The rough cut boards were awfully thick. I want to make sure that they are the exact same thickness. The next step is to get the two faces perfectly flat with each other. So I spend some time with the hand plane until they match up perfectly. This step took a long time. And with the boards matched up, I've drawn markings for the biscuit joiner. And then we'll go ahead and cut those. And finally, we get to the step where we can glue these boards together with the biscuits inserted. It's always better to have a little more glue than not enough glue. with all my clamps in place, I'll go ahead and hurry up and wait. The glue up is done. However, there is one fairly large crack that is concerning me. And I think we're gonna try and do a bow tie right in there to help secure it. I've only ever attempted one other one and it turned out okay. But I believe this one is gonna need it. It's got a pretty nasty crack that goes all the way through to the other side, and I really don't want that going down the length of the board here, which I think it might. Okay. Alright, that's pretty good. There are now some major channels that have kind of pulled out of the bottom of here. Poplar is really not the best wood to do this on, but it's okay. The whole thing is going to get a sanding. I got a little glue residue here that'll sand out. And then we'll put the legs on. So we'll put these 1 inch in. Seems good. It's just how it goes. So we're going to put these right about here. That one is all the way in, no problem. This one is... So I've got a great deal of sanding to do. I'm going to individually sand all the legs, the tabletop, and then we're going to glue them in place. And then hopefully call it done.
Daddy.
And then a coat of stain after we glue it.
Is it done?
Almost. Are you excited for your table?
Yeah!
This way. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this DIY content, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and if you're a gamer like me, come hang out over at twitch.tv/Devo Dungeon. We are always hanging out and it's an absolute blast. As always, all the tools and supplies that I use. We'll have links in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Now that we've got a coat of polyurethane on the tabletop and on the legs, we're calling this project finished. And this is what we're upgrading from. This old, cheap table. And my baby's now got a nice wooden desk. Do you love your new desk?
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's better.
Yep.
It fits this little baby. Rum, beer, quests, and mead. These are the things that a pirate needs.